Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay at home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. Hope you've had a great week, getting closer to Christmas. And also, too, happy Hanukkah to all of our Jewish brothers out there. Hanukkah's, and when this releases, will be about the middle of Hanukkah at that point. So, hope that Hanukkah's going well for you. That's always a fun holiday to just, I love watching our Jewish friends like just celebrate that, and like they post the different things that are going on throughout that time. Everything from just like the candle lightings to the big celebrations that happen out in the community, and just all those different avenues. Sometimes it's kids who are just old enough to understand what it is to like really grasp it. I think that for some families, like tradition wise, like that's a big deal.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that just wanted to put that out there. Have you ever celebrated Hanukkah at your house? You're have like
I
done
mean,
anything like
no,
that?
not really. We've done some study, I guess, or learned about it. We learned about it on the podcast too, and just what it is and what's going on with it. And I used to work a route in Atlanta, or really north of Atlanta, in kind of a more affluent area, and you had to be very careful about which houses you go into during that time of year, what
Mm,
you're doing, but nothing bad. Or it's just more, okay, so maybe we don't want to come in at this time or on this day, and then also to understand why they did what they were doing. There's a lot of
yeah,
things that they do that are very traditional and beautiful, but had no idea why. So that was a lot of fun, actually. And every time I hear about Hanukkah, I probably learn more about it. The biggest thing I think it always sticks in my mind is that it is not the largest or biggest or really most important holiday
right.
for Jewish people, Jewish celebrate. And that's really interesting to me because everybody always puts Christmas and Hanukkah right in the same time, towards the time frame, but right in the same like sentence and level and what have you. And it's from what I've experienced with people who grew up with it. It's, yeah, I mean, it's fine, but it's not a Christmas. We
Yeah.
do things that are similar, but I really love that, at least that there is some recognition for that, you know.
Yeah. I think too with Hanukkah and Christmas and the whole, oh, they're on the same level of, like importance, is I think it just kind of comes along to like just the similar sort of, I guess, like nature of gift giving and that kind of thing, but not
Yeah.
truly maybe understanding like the full like idea of what it
Hmm.
is, because from that standpoint they are definitely completely different in what they're trying to celebrate on.
Right.
So, and I
Right.
think that's a big part of it too. So, which also can cause a lot of frustration. I know, especially like when you talk to folks who are Jewish, and they're just like, you know, this has nothing to do with Christmas. It always falls around that time because that's just how it is or
Yep.
whatnot. And so, yeah. But still, just yeah, I wanted to put that out there. I know we talked a lot about Christmas and we had Santa Claus on last week, so
Hmm.
just wanted to bring that up and have a conversation. Our family has done celebrate Hanukkah. We've actually been involved with some folks in the Jewish community here in Cincinnati, and so we've participated in Hanukkah. We've participated in going to services and just learning a lot about it. I think with my theological background and going to university for that, and then coming alongside and meeting like rabbis and stuff like that, it really just intrigued me to be like, all
Hmm.
right, what does this look like? So we've gone out and actually bought a menorah and gotten the candles and read through the prayers and stuff, and just to get a better understanding of what it is. Because I mean, it is a great story, but like you
Hmm.
said, it is not the pinnacle or high point of the Jewish
Yeah.
calendar by any
Yeah.
means. So
Not, but still, it is good to acknowledge it for sure,
yeah,
and to be
definitely,
aware of
definitely.
it. And especially because a lot of, in the past, let's say, few years, there has been difficulties with people considering there's a war on Christmas and things like that. And we actually had a little bit of a kerfuffle here locally where some of our Jewish neighbors were having some difficulties, let's say,
Yeah.
because they weren't. we don't celebrate Christmas. And people had a hard time understanding, we don't live in a Christian nation. Granted, most of the people you talk to are Christian, but
Right.
the reality of it is we built this country to have freedom of religion, so we should be able to accept everybody. But you grow up with something and you kind of expect everybody does it. It's very much that this is my life. Your life's not like that. I mean, I always bring it back to this, whether you stand up to wipe your butt or you do it sitting down, you know? And it's one of those things like if you do one of them, there's no framework in your mind, in your world that someone would do it the other way.
Uh-huh.
What? Why would you do that? And we don't talk about what it is, but it's the same thing about deities and holidays and what you celebrate in your religion. One of my favorite things to talk about with people is who they worship. What their religion or their spiritual life looks like. I find it's very interesting because even between, like five different people who are Christian, you'll sometimes find five different stories. Why they're doing it, why they were brought into it, what they love about it, what God means to them. I think that type of conversation for me is probably, if everybody was as open and willing to do it as I am, I would do it everywhere I go.
Yeah.
I'd say, hey, my name's Danny. Yeah, who do you worship? Just tell me about your spirituality, your religion. So I think it's good to understand that there are plenty of people that don't celebrate Christmas or celebrate Christmas in addition to what they're also doing.
Yeah,
So
no, definitely. Yeah, I think that having that open mindset and being just, accepting of other cultural ideas in that sense is good. Like you don't have to force those things on anybody, but you should still be like, okay, like they don't have the same, mindset of what's going on, and that's totally fine. That fits their culture they grew up in. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, so that I completely agree with that.
Do you know a comedian named Matt Rife? He does a
Oh, yes.
lot of crowd work. Okay. So he's got a
Yeah.
Christmas special out.
Oh, go. Oh, I heard something about that.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
came out on Netflix and did it in Arizona, Tempe, Arizona. Cool.
Uh-huh.
Okay. The least Christmas related place that I've ever experienced was Arizona because I'm
I
like,
would say so. Yeah.
and that's the first thing that he says, like it's the first thing that he talks about. But he brings up a really interesting point that, he loves Christmas because of Santa Claus. Santa Claus is a big part of it for him. And then learning, let's say, okay, spoilers, all parents out there, we're going to spoil something here. You may want to switch off for
Not
5 minutes.
I was gonna say, yeah, earmuffs for children.
Roughs for children. That the understanding of you reach a point where you no longer really believe in Santa Claus. And it's hilarious because he said, I think what it is money. It's financial. It's a financial decision because when you're young, when you're 2 or 3, when you're two, you want, I can't remember what he said, but you want a box. You don't really care. And 3 years old,
Right.
you want some cars or something, or you want a little wooden train. It's really not that big a deal. But then, like 13, 14, or even earlier, oh, an Xbox. Ooh, well, it's time to tell the kid. If we can't,
Yeah.
sorry, the
We're,
man
we're
is not bringing you an Xbox
we're
because
working with mom and dad's money, not
right.
magic money.
And it's exactly, it's very much a financial decision. You just reach a point where you're like, nah, you're going to have to understand we're not doing that. And it
Yeah.
was, it wasn't true in my life, of course, but we didn't celebrate Christmas at all. But that understanding of, oh, wow, that is kind of a good point where you can go, I honestly would have probably told my kids something to the effect of, that's a family present or something, or I don't
Yeah.
know, they were out, or I mean, I give them something that, Santa didn't have a good time making those this year. His elves were having trouble with technology. I don't know. Some other lie to compound the lie that I've told them already.
We
Um,
actually so grew up like we decided to when we were telling the kids that, you were gonna get one gift from Santa.
mhm,
And, Santa doesn't bring gifts that are like high end. Like that's not what Santa Claus is about, that kind of thing.
mhm.
You might see that in the movies, but that's the movies. That's not the way it is.
Yeah.
And then we always had said too, your stocking is usually the other thing that like Santa would fill, that kind of deal. And
Mhm.
and leave it at that. And then everything
It's a good
else
idea.
was from mom and dad because, it's like, hey, like we're working hard to find these things and pay for these things, like, you know, but at the same time, like a little nod to Santa Claus as
Mhm.
well. So,
We have presents specifically from Santa Claus every year, and they're
yep.
in a matching different type of wrapping paper and all that, and that's Marnie's tradition. obviously Marnie's tradition. I don't have any Christmas traditions or didn't. And I loved the idea of it. I'm
Yeah.
like, that is very cool because you're definitely setting it aside as this is something special. But I really like what you said, because if you think about how his workshop operates, he's more into carving a wooden train for you than he is for building
Yeah.
a PC or something. It's just like, meh, maybe not. But the understanding that those presents are more, they spent more time to get it to you.
Yeah.
They took more care and more love and concern. It wasn't a machine doing it. It was elves who are there building things for you because they love doing it and they love toys
That's
just like you do. You know,
that is why I like the movie Santa Claus the movie from the 1980s because it's probably the most like
which one
spot
is that?
on.
There's so many.
It's literally
Is
just
it
called
just
Santa
called?
Claus the movie.
Oh, okay. All right.
That is the name of it. Dudley Moore is in it, if you know who he is. But like it it's very traditional.
Hmm.
Shows these elves making, wooden toys. And I mean, they definitely have some, like high tech put together type of deal, but nothing with like computer chips or anything like that. But still, it's a very just kind of cool look on things. Also, too, it's got a very good element that just kind of talks about, maybe not everybody's able to celebrate Christmas the same way that you do, kind of thing. And
Hmm.
that, and kind of keeping an eye out for those who are less fortunate or, are down on their situation type of deal. So
Yeah.
it's by far like one of my favorite movies. It's got John Lithgow, I think.
Lithgow. Yep.
Yeah, Lithgow in it as well. So he's like a villain in the movie. So that's another. He's part of the
Did a
high
lot of
tech.
that in the 80s.
Yeah, he did. He really did. Yeah. Cliffhanger and all that.
Buckaroo
Uh,
Banzai.
yep, yep. So, but no, it's a really good movie. Like I said, it's very traditional. I really appreciate watching it. It's one of those ones where it's like if it's on, like you stop and you're like, okay, I'm sitting here and watching this,
Yeah.
having that nostalgia moment. But you were talking about tradition though, about, like especially younger kids, you get them really, oh, this is cool. They're gonna love this or whatever, and you put it in front of them, and they're more interested in that box, and that's their imagination. That's where it is. Like,
Hmm.
the. And I was watching a TikTok video where this little 3-year-old boy, they walked him out into the garage, and they had a power wheel. Like the garage was pretty much cleared out. Like you could walk all the way around this power wheel, and they told him that his Christmas present was out in the garage. And he walks out. This thing's sitting there with a red bow on it. And he's walking around it going, "Where's my gift? Where's my gift?" Like he does 8 laps around this thing. And in the end, they're just like, "Is he playing with us? What's
Yeah.
going on?"
Yeah.
He had
You
no...
have that you have that moment that I think every parent has where you look at your partner and go, is our child stupid? Is that what's wrong with my child?
Did he get into the candy too early?
Right? Is there what did we do? What did we do, sweetie? What did you do?
Too many candy canes too
You
early in
broke
the
the
morning.
child. Oh man. Candy canes. Yeah. Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
bought
he
a million of those. So anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, so it was just funny. Like it took him forever for him to figure out that there was a car in there. They're like, it has a red bow on it.
Yeah. Okay,
So
stop. Walk backwards. You feel that thing you bumped into? Now turn around and see if you see it.
yeah.
There it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's what
awesome.
you're talking about. So yeah,
I
it was just
miss my kids being an age that they can have Power Wheels and be, that was a big entertainment. We got one for free. I had to get I think I just needed a new battery. I don't remember. I did some repairs on it, but the kids loved it.
yeah,
They definitely ran each other over. They were definitely sometimes when I was concerned. But now they've reached a point, and especially honestly here in Wisconsin, you need bigger toys. And they're like an ATV, or a Rhino, something like that, or a snowmobile. And I'm like, these are all great ideas. I
jeez,
am with you, but there's no way we're doing this. It's just not in our budget. But there are so many people here that have them, and I see their little kids on them. Like the next door neighbors, they have a little ATV just for them, and it's
yeah,
not like tiny. It's bigger than a Power Wheel. It's sizable, lights and all that, so you can drive it around. And they're tearing through our neighborhood today. It's been amazing, especially because it's not even 9 o'clock here, and they've been up for at least an hour and a half. And I know their parents are like, no, don't break that. Don't take it out. No, you have to wait. You have to wait until it's not even morning yet. You can't, and they're because it's their first big snow, about I
oh
think 7 or 8 inches overnight. So
goodness, yeah,
everybody's home and playing, and I'm waiting because my neighbor has also a snowmobile.
There you go.
And
That's where it
every
is.
year he gets it out. He puts a rope on the back with a little sled
Yeah,
and he
buddy.
goes out and tries not to kill his kids. Because I have seen him wrap that thing around some trees when he takes a corner too much and they go, what? Now they fell off, so they're okay. But yeah, your toys definitely get bigger as you get older.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a fun time though. Just
Yeah, yeah, I would like to do that. That's what I'm going to try to do that in the next couple of months is try to get like a guided. Do you have a snowmobile? Can you teach me to be safe on a snowmobile and not kill myself or my children? I would like to do that because I think that's got to be a blast, you know, just
yeah.
more so, I think, than an ATV or even a motorcycle. I just feel like something about maybe it's because I love winter, but seeing the guys going across the lakes on their, you know, 800 or 900 pound freaking snowmobile and yeah, everything's fine. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But
That's cool. Hey,
I'm
you mentioned
actually,
candy
yeah, go ahead.
canes, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that the oldest candy cane factory or company
No.
in the
Whatever
United
you're going to
States
say,
is
how would I know? Go ahead. Sorry.
it's here in Cincinnati?
No.
Yeah,
It's a very
the
dad thing for you to say.
good. Well, the Dorschers family, they actually started this company in 1871 and have been making candy canes since
Wow.
then. And
Wow.
it's literally like in the same little town that where my kids go to school.
Oh,
Um,
sweet.
yeah. And so like you can go over there and they've made a coffee shop in with it as well, but which is kind of cool. But yeah, you can go over there and get all kinds of fun little candies and especially right now like candy canes and stuff and they do like tours and you can see how they're made and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So,
Neat.
but yeah, it's one of the oldest, if not the oldest candy place around. So, I think I was trying to find where it was at because basically, let's see, yeah, 1871. Yeah, it's a neat place. Like it's definitely got a lot of historical representation to it, but
Mm-hmm.
they still use the old pole machines to pull it out and everything like that. And but what's crazy is that like it's really hard to get a tour there because it is so small,
Yeah, I was going
but
to say there's no room probably.
there's not a lot of room, but also too, it's so popular. You really kind of got to be on your game to get in there and get a tour. And I haven't done it, haven't been able to get it done yet. So, because I want to try to get like my dad's group in and go with the kids,
Mm-hmm.
It would be
Yeah, that'd be
fun.
cool. Cool to see. Look,
Yeah.
elves. So we currently this may change next year, but currently we put up our Christmas decorations the day after Thanksgiving. It's just a good day for us. Everybody's home, it's a good time with family. It's what we do it, and then put up the tree, put all the ornaments on, and then put candy canes on it. And the kids love, they love candy canes. So they love putting candy canes on. So I got four different types, and they were a box of 12 each and four kids, so three each. They're very happy. That's a ton of candy canes, and I'm good
That
with it.
is.
So one was just the regular peppermint. Awesome. One was Nerds flavored, which I like, okay, cool. And one was Sour Patch, so a little sweet sour. All right. And then the fourth, which they don't know, is jalapeno.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. And I told them, don't take the green ones. They're special. And they've come in every day, and at least one kid is, can I just have a green one today? I'm like, I don't think you're ready. No, they're really good. We're going to keep them until, right until the end. Because I'm waiting to see which one of my children, it'll probably be my kid coming back from college, is a thief.
There you
A
go.
thief.
There it is.
Because our candy canes disappear. And I
Uh-huh.
know because I don't want them eating 1,000 of them. I just like, no, this is there. You get, basically, I think they each get 12 total. So that's through, or maybe it's 16, but whatever. That number throughout from the day after Thanksgiving until at least Christmas, if not New Year's. Let's just, okay, that's a lot still, but you're not going to eat them all in one day. Just spread them out, and that's way more candy than you need. But every year they're gone.
Mm.
And I tend to count things. It's just kind of stuck in the back of my head. It's going, and especially with basically food supplies. I mean, you're the quartermaster of your house, right? So I'm in there
Yep.
going, wait a minute, no, we should not be out of bread yet. No, okay, there was another loaf, you guys put it in the wrong spot or whatever. And I'm looking at the candy canes in the last 2 years. I'm like, but there should be at least two or three. How many are left? So I didn't count them until this year. So I'm just waiting to see. And I'm thinking it's going to be my college kid, but it also might be the 16-year-old because he just goes and eats whatever, just doesn't really, he's like a bear. He walks in the room and I just know he's standing like in the pantry with his phone in one hand, his headphones on his other hand in like a bag of any snack, and he's the peanuts. Oh, but he's just sitting here eating peanuts and doesn't put the top back on him or whatever. He's that kind of kid, right? So I'm looking forward to this year's candy cane shenanigans.
Yeah, yeah, you're definitely figure it out real quick when they get into that
Hmm.
jalapeno. Yeah, jalapeno. My goodness. Yeah,
And they
that
don't
that was.
smell like jalapenos.
Ooh,
You
that's
don't, you
even
can't
more.
pick it up. And I held the box. I'm like, wrapped up. I don't know. Maybe when you open them, we'll see.
I would
But at the
say I
same
wondered about
time,
that.
you're
Yeah,
still going to stick it in your mouth, even if it smells. You use a candy cane, it smells a little odd. Those kids are going to have it in their mouth before they recognize that it's a problem. But
that's funny.
also, just because it's funny,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
it's like we get nerds and all the different flavors. Got some Sour Patch over here, and yeah, there's some jalapeno. Try it.
Sort of like when
Go
you're
for it.
working in the office and someone comes in and they eat or drink something that's yours, that's not
In their
theirs kind of
fridge.
deal. Yeah, and you're like, I'm gonna teach them a lesson. My favorite one to this day still is the story of the woman who was like, "Who is using my creamer?" And so she changed out the creamer and put her breast milk in it and put it in the fridge. She found out real quick who that person was.
My coffee's too sweet.
Oh gosh, it was funny. It was like, wait a minute, what happened here?
Yeah, and I don't know why, but breast milk is just disgusting to me. I don't know. I do not understand this. But as you probably know, having had two kids, women can squirt you,
Oh yeah.
right? And I do not need to know that as a fact, and I do not need to have experienced that anywhere in any time in my life. And I wanted to burn my skin off, and they're like, "That's fine. It's just," and then like they'll wipe it up and lick it, and I'm like, "Oh God, oh
That
no,
never bothered
no,
me.
it's the worst Christmas ever."
Oh my gosh.
In the office. I never had any problem in an office where I brought food in and someone took it. So
Okay.
that's just because I never worked in an office really for anything like that. But I understand that the problem. I would not put up with that. You don't mess with somebody's food, and definitely you don't mess with my food. We're very food. I don't remember what the way to say it is these days, but we were food deprived or food concerned. I can't remember the I can't remember the phrase right now. But basically, we never had enough food.
Yeah.
So if I bring a sandwich and a bag of chips or an apple or whatever, I have an apple to sandwich ratio. I'm just gonna say I know exactly how much I'm gonna eat. And to come in and somebody ate some of that, nah, no, we're gonna have a fight. There's gonna be a
Yeah.
problem. But yeah,
Well, it's the
breast milk
same
is
thing as
perfect revenge.
it's the same thing as when, you as a parent have something that you really like that you don't want your kids to get into, and you're like, all right, I got to put this in a different box
And
that they're not gonna
the
that they're
broccoli
not gonna
bag
mess with, so that I can have this. Yeah,
in the freezer.
that's
Yeah.
that's what it is. Yeah, you take and open the broccoli bag and use it, and then you fill the broccoli bag full of like candy
Hmm.
that you want to
Or
put in the
whatever.
freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Just
something like
you wouldn't like it. It's spicy.
that.
That's my favorite.
You wouldn't like it. It's spicy. Yeah, yeah,
I
that's funny.
can do it with the candy canes this year. Told you it was spicy.
Yeah, there you
No,
go.
you wanted to jump in.
Yeah, you're gonna find out who that person is real quick. That'll
It's
be
gonna
a
be
good
great.
one.
It's
That
gonna
is
be
gonna
great.
be great.
And it'll be
Um,
a great memory. And I feel like my kids understand that I'm not trying to trick them or lie to them, because there could be that. If you've never had any experience like little pranks with your kids, that could be how that's awful. You're giving them a candy cane and then it's disgusting. For my family, that's hilarious. And my kids will enjoy it, you know, for what
oh,
that's worth.
I saw a really funny video of from Dude Dad recently.
Hmm.
They made a video, I guess, where they're making fun of parents who do the Elf on the Shelf, but it's like more of the like one parent's into it and the other parent is not into it, and they
Hmm.
like apparently had a conversation and agreed not to do it. But then the other parent went out and got the elf on the shelf, and
Oh, wow.
so like the elf shows up and the kids all, it's an elf on the shelf. Oh my goodness. And it's so funny because I'll have to post it so that you can see it. But basically, Taylor, he's the one that buys the elf, and his wife is like looking at
That
him
makes
like,
sense.
what the heck? And he's, oh, I had one of those when I was a kid. It'll be fun. And she goes, sure it will. And then the kid at one point was like Lily Leaf hasn't moved in 2 days after having a snowball fight with what was it, like some other character or whatever. And Dad, why is it, what is he okay? And the mom, the mom goes, well, or the dad goes, well, she's probably tired and is recuperating. And so, I'm sure she's going to be doing something tonight. And then the mom goes, oh, yeah, you know what? I think your dad should put up a surveillance camera and he can video. And you can in the morning wake up to a fully edited video of the surveillance of what took place.
All
It's just
right.
like it's
Challenge
great.
accepted, though. I would stop motion the crap out of that elf just to get my
Oh,
wife and just
they
because.
They did actually. Taylor goes and puts a whole stop animation together that's based
Yes.
completely off of Die Hard. It's hysterical. It's so
That's
good.
great. That is
Yeah.
great.
So it's pretty dang
And
cute.
that's all part of the joy, I think, of the holidays. And if Elf on the Shelf is your thing, that's awesome. I'm glad for you. For anybody out there that does it, I've never done it. Again, just wasn't something that we did. And
Did
okay.
you snoop on a
Um,
stoop too?
yeah, no, yeah, I do have Snoop out on my stoop. I got a lighter. And everybody knows why you go out on the stoop to light. So, and it's a Snoop lighter. So, you know what we're doing out there. Smoking, obviously.
Anyway, yeah.
Cigarettes. But yeah, yeah, and that's really cool too because again, you're making the holiday joyful. You're finding joy in, and I have to say, it seems like at least in our community, everybody had their lights up before Thanksgiving. They were everywhere, and I'm fine with that personally. I love to
Yeah.
see them, and they had them on. I think the day after Halloween, people started putting
Hmm.
stuff up, and it's good. But they're really looking for that joy, looking to recreate those traditions that they had with their parents or their family and want to pass it on to their kids. We've of course talked before about choose your own traditions. If something isn't working for your family, don't do it. It makes sense. But I love the fact that Christmas is such a traditional time. It's expectations, and as a child you learn I'm going to find this moment of joy. Biggest one I think for most children is Christmas Day, where you run downstairs and Santa came and there's presents everywhere and somebody ate the cookies and all those things, right? And
Yeah.
I love that about it. But a lot of the traditions around Christmas, and with the expectation, this is the time you're stuck in the house, basically. And so, what do you do with your kids, right? And that's, I think, as an example, baking cookies, decorating cookies has always been an amazing thing for us. We haven't made it a tradition because I haven't wanted to do it every year, but my wife's mom does. And
Yep.
we go out to see them and they're like, no, I'm going to make cookies. We're going to make sugar cookies or whatever. And then the kids are going to all decorate their own. And it's a huge mess and it's so much sugar, but they love it so much.
Yeah.
They enjoy it. They probably enjoy it more than grandma enjoys it, to be honest. And that's saying something because she loves just giving that to them and sharing that tradition with them.
Yeah.
So,
That's cool. Yeah, for me, I don't even question when Christmas lights go up anymore after hearing a few years back about an entire neighborhood decorating their Christmas or decorating their house for Christmas. And I think it was like really early. Like it was like maybe even before Halloween that they did it. And the reason is because there was a little boy in their neighborhood who was
oh,
terminal.
it's just going to be sad. Oh, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Make
And
it sad.
I know, but I think that it's good to remember that there are families that go through some really hard times this time of
Hmm.
year as well. But yeah,
Yep.
they basically it was like gonna basically be his last Christmas, and so they wanted it to be really super special for him. And it was like, sometimes we get wrapped up in ourselves and not realizing, there could be some pretty hard things going on in our
Hmm.
community too. That's the other thing that
Yeah.
that was like what Santa Claus was talking about, like trying
Hmm.
to give back to the community in different ways. So I think that's an important thing to remember.
Yeah, I would agree. I do a little bit of work with the local warming center for the unhoused, and or really the board decided that we wanted to give each person that's a regular there, and we have 20 beds, so we kind of know everybody by name and what have you, a stocking basically. It was some one like a just a specific present or gift for you, and it's going to be something that you don't get normally, but it could be, as an example, a great example is a bus pass for a month.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. I'm like, wow, I never thought of it. Or a gift card to Quick Trip, because Quick Trip has so many things that you could get, and if it even it's just hot chicken fingers, it's still
Yeah.
something.
Which is like a
Um,
big gas station is what that
yeah,
is, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Quick
Okay.
Trip's really it's a small Bucky's if you've ever been to
Okay.
Bucky's.
Small.
So
Yeah. That's what
it's
we're
that's the
gonna
best way to
compare
put
it
it.
to.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody except me knew what Bucky's was. I'm like, I never heard of that. You live in Georgia, you don't have a Bucky's? I've never even seen a Bucky's. I still haven't been to one, but
There's
one
no
of the
people like cutting meat and singing about it
yeah,
in there.
yes, I'm gonna go in there. So, but one of the things that came up was from one of the local shelters, and they said, we always get a ton of toys after Christmas because we have people that are going into Christmas and their kids get new toys, and so they get rid of their old ones, out with the old and with the new kind of thing like that. And that it would be wonderful if they could get those toys before Christmas because there are many families that are looking for toys at that time of year, but there really aren't any. They go
Yep.
very quickly. And then after Christmas, suddenly they have a million of them. And I thought that was a very interesting thing and coinciding with what you just talked about, basically, that looking at our community and understanding what their actual needs are. I
Yeah.
love that so many people will kind of adopt a family and help their kids get, a gift on Christmas or even get a tree. I mean, there's so many things that I've seen, and it is amazing the love that you see this time of year.
Yeah.
But to consider, what would be the best time to do that and to plan basically your year or your month, however you want to look at it, to kind of set people up so that they have those things that you're going to get rid of in a month. And I thought that was a really interesting way to look at it because I had never considered that. We do, like at the school, there's always we have here's a card for a boy age 10. He likes sports and dinosaurs. I don't know. And then you go and buy them a set of clothing and toy. And I love that. I really love that. I
Yeah.
think we need to do way more than that, honestly, but I love that we do that. And doing those kind of things has always filled me with a sense of community, you
Yeah.
know. But looking at, all those toys could come now, and then people would actually get them because after Christmas, you're not really looking for toys at that point. Maybe you are,
Yeah.
but much less so.
Much less so,
Something to think
definitely.
about.
Yeah. I like that. Definitely. I think that having those kind of things in mind is very important. So
Hmm.
I, you,
Like
you
Santa
were,
said.
yeah, like exactly like Santa said. I was gonna say another interesting like kind of tradition of gift giving is what they call the three kings giving, which basically is that you get three presents for Christmas. That's it.
Hmm.
So you get something to read, something to wear, and the third one is something like that is like very special to you. So
Hmm.
that kind of deal. So like gold, frankincense, and myrrh kind of deal.
Something you want, something you need, something to wear, something to read. That's what we do.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
It's four of them though, so I don't know
That's four.
maybe
Yeah.
Jesus was the fourth king.
There's that too. Yeah, you can do it that way. That works too. Yep.
Definitely the wise man. But
Yeah.
yeah, a great idea because then you're specifically giving them presents for a reason
Yeah.
other than hey, it's Christmas.
Yeah. Yep. I like that one too a lot. So, but lots of traditions, definitely. I think too, they toy drives all the time. They're like, oh, bring in a new toy. And it's, I get it. Kids, giving a kid a new toy in box works. But I think the idea of having a toy drive for, hey, if you've got something that's not broken, but gently used kind of deal, and you got a
Hmm.
team of people that are like, hey, we're gonna come in with Clorox wipes and clean it all, kind of wipe it all down and get it all like ready and be able to pass it on to families that can come in and hey, oh, there's a dump truck or there's a tractor or fire truck or whatever it is, and they can take that to their kid, like their young
Hmm.
kid or something like that. I think is another way to go about it for sure. So I love that a lot. Our kids, we'll take them up to the house or not up to the house. We'll take them up to their rooms with a laundry basket and be like, go through your toys If there's anything in here that you don't play with anymore, or you find you're like, oh, I didn't even realize I had that still, but I don't need it, like put it in the basket, and then we'll typically try to figure out, okay, are we taking it to Goodwill, or are we able to take it someplace where they would be able to clean it up, and give it to some other kid or type of deal? Or is it something too that we can just put on like the Buy Nothing group on Facebook in our neighborhood? And, there's families in there that are in need that are looking as well.
Hmm.
So, but just having that moment of being like, hey, you don't have to keep all this stuff. There's no need for it. If you're done using it, pass it on to somebody else, or,
Yeah.
get it out of the house. That's the
Hmm.
biggest thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Move your
no
junk to
more
somebody
clutter.
else's house. That's how we got garage sales.
That's exactly how we got. One man's junk is another man's treasure.
Yep.
Cool. Well, hey, like I said, we're getting closer to Christmas. It's coming around here pretty soon, but this will come out before that. So, got one more episode that we'll do actually before Christmas. So, hope you have fun shopping and celebrating and doing all the fun
Decorating.
things up into it, decorating. And we will talk to you all next week.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I